Thank you very much for inviting me today to speak to you. It's a great pleasure. I come from a bit different perspective, and allow me one slide about the company before I will go into answering the questions gender equity as part of business strategy of Tchibo. I will only briefly touch the project because it's impossible in 10 minutes, because I've also been asked to talk about the challenges and the benefits. So to squeeze it all in 10 minutes, I had to make a choice. Just for your understanding, we are not one of the biggest, but a pretty large company. One of the biggest in Europe. We sell coffee and other consumer goods. We have a turnover, just to give you a feeling of the size, of 3.4 billion euro in 2010. It's not all in coffee, but you can imagine the quantities of coffee we need. So for us, especially, the challenge is how to mainstream the gender issue. As you can see here, we have various distribution systems, and alone shop in stores in Germany we have more than 29,000, and you can imagine how much coffee we need for our worldwide activities. I've been asked to elaborate on the question gender equity as part of business strategy of a multinational big company. So what I was struggling with in the beginning was what do you expect and what is the role? So is it to install gender equity? This is probably too much for a company alone. Is it to address gender in an appropriate way in our supply chains? I would definitely say yes. As some of you might know, we have committed to develop towards a 100% sustainable company, and this involves definitely 100% sustainable coffees and need for ensure long-term availability, which means that it's fundamentally important for us that we have to define the business case that women and men have access to know-how and new technologies. Coffee growing and farming is attractive for men and women. We face in many countries the issue of overaged farmers, and we need increased transparency in our supply chains because it's a commodity, especially for a mainstream grocer, and to address gender, you need transparency. So why is this from a business perspective, business case? For me, the most important point is that to really achieve economic sustainability, especially in mainstream, we need that smallholder farmers can make a living, and that means yield and quality are key for economic sustainability. And this, from our belief, only works if gender work hand in hand. So this is important, as the speaker before me already mentioned, to really unlock the potential. You need that farming is seen as a business of men and women, and they have to work together. It doesn't really help much if the woman supervises somebody is pruning the tree and she doesn't know how to do it and he's roaring it all. Then you can fertilize as you want, you won't get a bee more out of your acre. So this is extremely important that both genders have the knowledge. And if farming shall stay an option, both gender, men and women, so if I talk about gender, I'll address both of them, must find it attractive to stand on the farm and to live on the farm, because we face, especially in Africa and many countries, the situation that we have farmers aged 55 and older, and we lost already a complete generation. And from a supply chain perspective, it is also important that you have strong communities because they strengthen your business partners. All the challenges coming up, just to mention climate change, it is important that your business partners are also strong. And another thing is women share and spread knowledge. Their drivers of development, they're very far from an efficiency point of view. It is very important, and they are very interesting also from a business perspective. I will just very briefly touch our activities. We are sort of just started the journey. When I listened to your experience in 8 years, I'm amazed how many things we already found, very similar. For example, what women expressed, what their needs are. but we just embarked and we have to look into a concept which works for millions of bags. So this is really a challenge. So I can't go in any detail, but maybe some key issues we have already identified which are very important to look into. And this is that there is no solution fits all, so you have to really access the local needs of women carefully and really look into what is needed in that particular area you're working. We found it very helpful to build on already existing structures. You will see later on that in this case we identified women's self-help groups, and we used these as an entry to reach out to a lot of farmers with the help of the Farmer Field School model, because in addressing so many farmers, you have to find a way into society and that you can spread the news, because you can't train all of them. What also is important for us is that we create lasting structures and methods beyond the project phase, something which lasts on the ground and they can draw to later on if issues come up. We use good example on the ground. We even don't mind carrying the farmers from Kenya to Tanzania, because we see there are very good examples. Because we think we should make more advantage of learning on the ground. Because when I, as a Missourian, my white nose come and tell them, it's a very different thing from learning from each other. So this is something we found very important. And in our project, it's also very important that the beneficiaries are those who make the decisions. I will divide the project into steps, because there's one which is more business related, and we also embarked on a beyond business activity, which is a sponsoring activity, where we would like to see if we strengthen women, what influence does this have on the community and the cooperative society we work with. This just started, so I can't really give you much information on where this will end. Just a brief idea of the size of the numbers we're dealing with. So this is a cooperative of 16,000 members, of which 30,000 active families are dealing with coffee. It's a very long tradition. It's very small holder farmers, 1 acre, most of them, some of them 1 to 2 acres, 250 trees was already a lot. Many of those farmers have less, so you can see how important this is that they have a proper yield and to really earn a living from the trees. It's a densely populated area. What is important is that there is a good baseline education. If you come to a region where this is not the case, probably the situation is very different. In this case, we identified 56 active women self-help groups, which we use as an entry point to reach all these women. Before we started on any gender-sensitive activity, we already embarked with the farmers on trainings on good agricultural practices, and they achieved Rainforest Alliance certification as well as for seed validation, and we worked on climate sensitization and adaptation with them, together with our service provider Ecom and the sustainable management services. But what we found out while working was that either women did not attend trainings we offered, or if they were asked to come to trainings, they would be very timid or very outspoken. So this is why we embarked on the activity to see how we can address them better and what would be a way to reach out to the women. We think are an important point to really unlock the potential also in this particular cooperative. We, as I said, identified the 56 women self-help groups, and it shows already how difficult it is for us as a roaster, because we can't be everywhere, and you have to really have access and to see the way of how to kind of address them. If you not have smaller units and smaller or permanent relationship, but if you deal with a commodity, it's really difficult, and it took us some years to find a way to address this. What we then did is a community project where we especially try to create trainings appropriate for women, and it's more or less what you said, what the women required in your programs. It was the same for us, like good agriculture trainings. They felt they hadn't got the information for the trainings. We were undertaking before. They wanted business and financial management skills. They wanted to be trained in gender and leadership, and the same issues came up as you mentioned. While doing these trainings, we came to we had the opportunity, the unique opportunity that the company was willing to promote a Christmas activity last year, where we could raise funds to see, what would it look like, or what are potential ways of strengthening women if you could really sort of support them in the activities they would like to embark on. The women decided that they wanted support in education, livestock, building material, and potable water, and we embarked with them on a journey, and now trying not only to focus on coffee, but particular on the income sources of women. As you all know, coffee as a cash crop is a difficult issue, because we think maybe it's a way of strengthening their position, that through that way, when you told us that if they have money, they have value, the situation in the household changes, that from that way we can also change the situation concerning coffee and how the cash crop is shared within the business. It's not enough time to go in detail, so if you have any questions, address me later. I come to the challenges. What concern the first part of the trainings, I mentioned already the identification and access to the women, because you need trust. You can't just go in there and say, I want to do a training, and you don't know where to start. This is really an issue if we talk about mainstream, the volumes we deal with this. It's also difficult because we're classical, supply chain, get the blessing of the community for activities, because it's not in everybody's mind and interest in the beginning to understand this is good for the community as such, and if we strengthen the community through these activities through women, everybody will benefit. That took some time. The timing is difficult. We would have loved to have the trainings efficient right from the start, but how to address the women if you don't have the trust, and if you have not worked with them for years so that you can access them. And especially it is an issue for women in particular, if they don't own land, to have access to finances. This is why we have this Christmas promotion activity, to see if they have how it would work, also to give a good business case, and then at a later stage convince maybe those who should be involved, like banks, to prove that it works. What concerns the sponsoring activity, that was really embarking on a journey. I know now a lot about dairy and horticulture, and it starts already being difficult to identify what the women really want. They ask us they want hybrid cows. That was where we started, and now we are setting up a whole supply chain in dairy, because this is what they really wanted, to sell milk for a good price directly to the dairy farm. But coming from their education level, we have to see that it needs a lot of input, which goes definitely beyond what a roaster normally can do. So there is need of a multi-stakeholder approach to this, because that should be rather done by a dairy company than by me, or trainers we engaged. Yeah. And also the issue is that the lack of qualified trainers, what concerns especially the women training and the needs. So as you have not extension services in place in many places, you have your specialized supply chain, also 1A coffee, but this goes beyond. So it's also empowering in a certain way the service providers. Lack of network, it's very difficult for us, and if you imagine that this is just a pilot and we had to sort of roll it out, to have access to a local network, which bank is trustworthy, where are the local experts, who to address. This is very difficult, and women are also very strict in no donation, if not only for individual benefit. So that makes it very difficult to start up a business and say, okay, this is a kick-off finance, so you'll have debates over weeks. So very unknown to us and not really our business. I think there are stakeholders which are much better capable and trained of doing this kind of things. And a challenge for us also is, because business is also very efficient and we must work fast, but to create ownership in these programs, it sometimes needs a bit more time, and instead of digging it themselves, because then they owe it. So you have also to learn a lot, and it is quite a challenge for a roasting company to embark on such a thing, but there are also benefits. Keep in mind, please, that we just started on the journey. Women are open for new ideas, eager to learn very fast, and if you teach them things they want, they do it tomorrow. So this is very encouraging, also what concerns our core business. If both gender work together on the farm, improvements are easier to achieve. We've heard this several times already. Now where men accept the project and women's ambition to contribute to community well-being, this is embraced, and we can see how this is beneficial of the role and the status of the women, and we hope this will still improve. It helps us to identify women leaders, which is in particular the right time and place in Kenya, where they have a new law where they will have a certain percentage of women engaged in public institutions, but corporations and other publicly related institutions. This program shows very clearly which women have leadership skills. It creates a women network because we started now from the women mother groups and the self-help groups to organize the groups to work together, and these will be structures which will stay, and we hope will strengthen the community. We know how will we use in the future. We use the sort of implementation things we do rather as a tool, relevant as a process, and get the know-how into the community so that we can learn and have a process in place and kind of other issues. And I see time is finished, I think you have read through it. The multi-stakeholder approach we'll have in the breakout session, so there's just to thank you for your attention.